Welcome to 613, What They Didn't Teach You in School. I'm Alfonso Cuadra, and today we have an exciting show. We have Majeed, like magic. How does it work?
Like magic, you got it.
Expert speaker. Now, tell us a little bit of how you became the expert speaker.
Yes, sir. 10 years as a professional speaker, keynote speaker, trainer, coach, and started working with entrepreneurs who wanted to get into the speaking business. And they wanted to land the stages and position themselves. So now I run a company called Expert Speaker, where I help experts in their field become speakers and get themselves on the right stages.
So, can someone actually make a living speaking?
Yes, lots of people do.
Because we're used to all the motivational speakers,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
sometimes it sounds a bit cliche,
Yeah.
but can someone make a real legitimate living from speaking?
Well, the business model has changed.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be that you might run a bunch of infomercials and get a bunch of people to come out to a stadium and you're Tony Robbins and you have 10,000 people screaming your name. That's when there weren't so many. Now it seems everywhere you go there's another motivational speaker. It's because...
You can swing a dead cat.
Yeah, that's right. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can't do that. Everybody has an audience on their phone.
Yeah.
Right? So everybody has a personal brand. Everybody has a message. If you want to share it, you can. Now, it used to be the model of a speaker business would be to get paid to give a speech.
Yeah.
And that was when expertise was rare and information was rare. So we needed to pay the expert to come and share their latest and greatest information. Today, everyone has the best information instantaneously on their phone. So experts aren't getting paid to speak in the old way of paying for a speech, but there's never been a better time to be an expert speaker because you can give a speech, whether it's on your phone or a webinar or at a conference, and get a bunch of clients wanting to hire you because you're positioned as the expert.
So you leverage the speaking to build a business.
That's the name of the game these days.
Now, someone getting out of university, do they have a shot? I mean, let's say you took you went to school for business, for example. Do they have a legitimate shot of making money in speaking? And how much could they see?
So you have to be the best in the world.
Okay.
But the trick is you can make your world really small.
Okay. Niche.
Yeah. So if you're a student on campus and you host an event, you book a room, you poster it, you put your in the student newspaper, and you make it very specific. It might be suicide prevention for LGBT community.
Mm-hmm.
You are now the best in the world because you've made the world small enough to be the only one, or to be the best in that group. So you choose your niche, you focus on a target market, and you market to that market. If you want to be the motivator for the world, you're competing with Tony Robbins and all the other big names.
Yeah. Now, if you're let's say you said university, someone's in university right now. What are the steps that they could take to start building that audience for themselves?
Okay, so start with who's the audience, and what's their biggest challenge? Because you got to position yourself as the solution to their biggest challenge. And so you make a speech, you title your speech, you describe your speech, you advertise that people come to it. Or you're speaking at someone else's event. If there's already a big audience coming to some event, you ask to speak there. Again, think who's my ideal client or who's my ideal audience. And then if you want to generate revenue, you have to give them something to buy. So maybe they're buying your services, maybe they're buying a product. We have a book, you can sell your book, you can sell your coaching services, you can sell tickets to an event or a retreat.
Well, what if, for example, someone's getting started, do they build all that out first, or do they start with building the audience?
Start with building the audience and make an offer. If you can't sell an offer, it doesn't matter how good your product is because people only get to experience your product after they've bought. So let's take a real concrete example. Like let's say there's you really like fitness, you have a deep interest in fitness, you read all the books, you're buff yourself. A lot of people around you, they want to be fit, they want to lose weight. So you give a talk called The 7 Secrets to Getting Super Fit, Super Healthy, Super Fast.
Yeah.
Right? You get 20, 30 people showing up, and at the end of the talk you say, and so for those of you who want to get fit now and have me as your personal trainer, it's $1,000, you get 10 sessions, and we're going to get you ripped in 3 months, right?
Fair enough.
So then 5 people say, sign me up for $1,000, boom, you just made $5,000 speaking.
Wow. So, this seems like something that a lot of people could do. if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Now, you've been in the business for 10 years.
Yeah.
What are the changes that you've seen in the industry?
Great question. So it used to be that there weren't that many speakers. And it used to be that the only way...
Why is that? Like, why is everybody trying to get into it?
We are in the age of the personal brand.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's a media company now. Everybody's a producer of content. Everybody has a story. So people want to share that story. And it's never been easier to get a business up and running and online in minutes, not days and years.
I always tell people, if you're in 2018 and you cannot make money, you're missing it. You're missing out.
It's amazing.
The opportunities and what they can leverage.
Yeah.
So we're in the age of a personal brand. So that's the change in 10 years.
That's it, because we all have a media production company in our pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You know, world broadcasting, global broadcasting, HD, live in our pocket. And so what are we going to say to that camera? And who's on the other end of that watching it? And what is the message that we're saying that's going to resonate with them that they say, I want to hire that person. I want to hire that person to come speak at my event.
Mm-hmm.
Or I want to hire that person for their coaching or their services or their program. And that's the message that I help people craft, is how do they tell their story in such a way that the person on the other side of that camera is going, I got to work with that guy.
So someone just finished university, they got a job. Should they still pursue the speaking, even though they have a job?
Great question. So think of your job as a client. And think of yourself as a business owner.
Well, this is true. Most people think, I have a job, I have no responsibility.
Right.
I check in, check out.
Right. Again, so this ain't your grandparents' job market.
Yeah.
It used to be that there were more jobs than there were people.
Mm.
And so they would have signing bonuses, and they would really try to recruit people and really entice people. Now there are more people than there are jobs. There are two reasons for that. One, we compete now in a global job market,
Mm-hmm.
not just a local job market, because we can have remote people taking our jobs. And two is we have artificial intelligence and robots making fewer and fewer and fewer jobs. So now there are more jobs, there are more people than there are jobs, which means it's more competitive than ever, which means the loyalty's not there. It used to be that a company would bring you on young, teenager, or early 20s, and have a career path for you.
40 years.
Right. Now, here's your path to management. We're going to manage your path for you.
And then you get a watch.
Right. You're going to retire when you're whatever age. Now it's like, oh, we've had a structural shift. We're moving our production facility to some other place. Seal it. So the one thing you're always going to have with you is you're always going to have your personal brand, also known as your reputation.
Yeah.
You're also always going to have your network or your relationships. So always be building your personal brand and building your relationships and network. And if you think about your job as a client, your business, you have your product, which is you, that you sell, your time and your expertise. You have one client, which is actually a relatively risky business model, because if you lose the one client, you lose 100% of your business.
Yeah.
But think of it as, this is my client that's building my expertise and building my network, and my next client, whether it's another job or I'm going to start a business, what does the path look like, and how do I position myself for that next client or next job, and how do you make yourself unfireable? It's by making yourself really, really valuable. Companies hire you for one reason.
Standing up front and being able to present yourself.
Be presentable.
Yeah.
Have that personal brand, that reputation. Speak well. It's a great thing to present yourself in an organization. Speak well. But make yourself so valuable to the organization that they would be silly to fire you. Companies hire people to make them more money. If you make more money than your cost, you have job security.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need to be an entrepreneur. So many times we talk about being an entrepreneur, like being successful within an organization, and you can still follow the expert speaker model within an organization.
Absolutely.
Like, the high-level executives of Microsoft or Apple, they're very successful. They've made it to the highest level within an organization.
That's right.
So that's amazing. So if someone were to get started, what's the first step? What's the one step that they could take today?
Well, you can go to expertspeaker.com. Go to expertspeaker.com. I have free training there on how to get paid to speak, how to land paid speaking gigs, how to use a speech to get clients. Yeah. Anybody who wants to share their message, tell their story, and get clients, whether that client is a job, employer, or if it's consulting clients or coaching clients. And then just make the choice that you are going to be a standout spotlight leader, that you are going to share your message and people are going to follow you, because that's a decision. I'm going to share my message, people are going to follow me, and I'm going to show up as a personal brand. If that's not you, and if you want to be more behind the scenes, then you don't need to follow the expert speaker path. You still need to be valuable, more valuable than you cost.
Nice.
Yeah.
One last thing before you go, Majeed. And by the way, all that info is going to be below in the comments. We're going to have a link to your website as well.
Yeah.
But what is the one thing that they didn't teach you in school?
What did they not teach me in school? They didn't teach me sales.
Sales.
And you know what sales is? It is the practical application of communication skills and psychology that helps people make the right decision to buy.
People get caught up with people, I don't want to be a salesperson.
If you can't sell, you can't help people, because people have to make the decision, the commitment, and the investment to get help. If you want to help people and you say, I don't want to sell, I just want to help people, you have to start by helping them make the decision. Even if that's not a buying decision, but it's a decision. Same thing, that's a sale, right? And so they didn't teach me that in school.
And if they did?
I'd probably be a lot richer.
Majeed, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Love it. Expert speaker, 613. What they didn't teach you in school. Like us, love us, share us. All the information is down below. Go to the website, comment if you have any ideas for the show. We'll see you next time.